guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much for all the love and support I received my last video, and if you've not seen it yet, feel free to head on over to my channel to check it out. Well guys, I am so excited for today's video. I'm so glad you guys all seem to really enjoy last week's video about standalone fantasies. Many people were very excited to see that video, and I am so glad it's one that you guys really liked. Again, standalone fantasy is something that we don't talk about like a ton, I feel like, in the book world, because most things are series-based or trilogy-based and things like that with multiple books. So I'm glad I could give you guys something that you really enjoyed, and I hope that today's video will be piggybacking off of that, moving right along. We'll be talking about fantasy duologies for our book recommendations today. Now, fantasy duologies, let me just give you a quick little intro into fantasy duologies. I absolutely love a duology. Duologies are some of my favorite books. Obviously, duology is 2 books, and it's a completed set in 2 perfect encapsulated little books. Obviously, there's a lot of famous duologies that people know and love. Six of Crows is a great example. We have Six of Crows, and then Crooked Kingdom is the second book in that little like fantasy duology. Incredibly famous, incredibly gorgeous. Like, people love that duology, and it's a beautiful set. In my opinion, I feel like there are far more successful duologies than there are successful trilogies. I feel like sometimes authors get a little ambitious and they decide, I want to make a trilogy, but unfortunately the second book is always the catalyst for that thing. The second book is always the bomb in the whole thing. It blows the whole thing up.
How have you? Oh man, you're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it.
Because the second book is never nearly strong enough to get through a series. Now, I've only seen this done a few times with trilogies, that it's been done in a beautiful way, and there's a complete set of a trilogy, and each book is beautiful in it. I've only seen it done a few times, and I'm thinking about making a video about the best fantasy trilogies, so you have to let me know if you want to see that one. But we're not here to talk about trilogies today. Today, we're nixing trilogies. Trilogies are Today, we're talking about only duologies. Because, again, like I said, I feel like authors get it in over their head and they decide they want to expand their series to 3 books, when in reality, it probably just needs 1 solid good first book and 1 solid conclusion on the second one. That's all we need for it to be a beautiful thing. And I feel like there are several authors in this list today that have done this absolutely successfully, and I cannot wait to show them to you and to introduce you to some of these worlds. Now, before we get into the video, I want to really quick go over our fun new segment that we've added over the course of the year, which is what I just finished reading and what I am currently reading. So this book is already, we're going to be talking about it in today's video, going over the whole thing, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. Guys, I finished Enchantra and it was the perfect conclusion to this romantasy duology. I'm absolutely floored, obsessed, and in love with Kaylee Smith. Like, guys, I just think she is quite literally one of the most talented romantasy writers out there. Someone who has completed and done a perfect romantasy and a perfect duology romantasy. Like, it's hard to do true romantasy and to really give and for not to come out cheesy or corny, and I just absolutely lived for it. I just thought this book was absolutely fabulous, and it totally sparked me on my reading slump, because legitimately, like, it's got me going. Like, I'm back in my books, I'm back on my reading grind, and it totally got me out of it. And so I'm so grateful for Kaylee Smith and this freaking book, and I freaking loved it, and I can't wait to talk about it more in today's video. The second thing that I finished reading this week was actually something I just finished reading last night, and that is Juniper Hill by Devin Perry. As many of you know, I am a huge cowboy romance fan, obviously. It's legitimately all I talk about.
We know!
I know! You know, I know. I got it. I got the concept.
And so Devin Perry has a series called, the first one's called Indigo Ridge. This is the second book in that series, Juniper Hill. And I went to Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was looking for a different cowboy romance book called the Lucky River Ranch series, recommended by one of my gorgeous subscribers. Thank you. Shout out to you. And when I went to go purchase that book, I just found out that they are doing a complete reprint of the Lucky River Ranch series, so I can't get my hands on the book until like mid-June, which totally sucks, because I'm just like, are you kidding me? I hate when authors in the middle of their series decide to do a full cover reprint. I'm just like, do it at the end and like start all over and release it all at once. Like, why are we doing it in the middle of a series? We're releasing it.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So now I can't get book 1 anywhere until it releases in paperback in June. So I decided to get the second book in this series. I saw it on the shelf and I was like, I need a quick cowboy romance. And legitimately, I read it within one day. It took me one day to read this book. It was super easy, super fast. We have a young and sexy Knox, who is the chef at a fabulous restaurant in Montana. We have a young woman named Memphis Ward, who is from New York City. She's driven all the way across the country with basically her newborn baby and just everything packed inside of her car, trying to escape the life that she had in New York to start working as a housekeeper at the Eloise Inn, which is the hotel in Montana. And Knox and the hotel and Knox's restaurant are like connected and stuff. And so essentially Knox and Memphis end up like seeing quite a bit of each other, and Memphis ends up renting out the loft inside Knox's like super secluded house on Juniper Hill and living there, and they end up forming this relationship, this sweet kinship. It turns into like a neighbors to lovers kind of situation. This one was very sweet, very cute. I actually did end up like tearing up and crying a bit in this one. I think it was just because I like this woman was really going through some struggles, and this big, strong, sexy chef with his stubble and his big tattoos was just showing up and like being there for her and being like a strong person for her, and she could lean on him but still do her own thing. And I just was like, wow, man, I need a man badly.
Oh. Like, right?
And so I really enjoyed this one, thought it was lovely, and I'm so excited to keep reading more in this Devin Perry series. It's super fun. And then for what I'm currently reading, I'm about to start Fearless by Lauren Roberts. Guys, I'm legitimately so excited to start Fearless. It's going to be so good. I am like chomping at the bit to read this one. Everyone's probably already like rated and reviewed it. I'm just so excited to read it and see what happened to Kai and Peyton, or Peyton. I'm like so excited to see what happened to them. So that's the end for what I just finished reading versus what I'm currently reading. And now moving on to our duology recommendations. Again, kind of like I stated in last week's video, I kind of talked about how I want to give more romantic-y specific things, but like it's hard to do because you don't want to suggest something that like isn't fitting the brief for what a romantasy is. So again, that's why I named today's video a fantasy duology recommendations, because again, we're getting a broad spectrum. We'll have some romantasy, we'll have some YA, we'll have some more folkish kind of duologies. We'll have like a good mix of everything, so you guys can really get a taste for a full fantasy rating of duologies. And it's kind of nice to have a duology because it is like a more compact version of like a beautiful book series. It can get you back into reading, and you've got book 1, book 2, and you're done. It's not so like tedious, essentially going through an entire series. So I'm super excited to recommend these ones to you guys, and I hope you're going to love them. So let's get started. The first beautiful duology we're going to start with is the one we just started talking about, and that is Kaylee Smith's Fantasma and Enchantra. Guys, I cannot stop talking about this duology. Like, I legitimately think it is incredible. Like, I am freaking in love. Like, I genuinely, like, I am in love with this series. I just think it's beautiful. Again, to give you a brief plot summary, the first book in this series, Fantasma, we have gorgeous Ophelia, who is her family is a necromancing family. She's her young sister Genevieve, and their mother. Their mother has recently passed away, and their house is about to go up for foreclosure because their family is in some debt. Ophelia is trying to figure out a way to solve this, where Genevieve decides she's going to enter the brilliant competition in New Orleans called Fantasma. And Fantasma is this like, essentially it's like a haunted house Hunger Games. It's a haunted house. It's a house that is full of devils and ghosts and ghouls, and you basically compete to the very end to gain a wish from a devil, to gain a wish from a devil. So Genevieve enters this competition, but Ophelia is the one who goes after her, and when she's in the competition in the house, she meets a phantom named Blackwell, and Blackwell has his own secrets, but he needs Ophelia's help getting out of this house and getting out of this game of Fantasma. This one is absolutely fabulous. The second book, Enchantra, is about Ophelia's sister, Genevieve. This is Genevieve's story, and essentially how she is going to try to find more people like her, necromancers like her and her family, and she wants to discover more people that are more similar to her style. And so she seeks out these letters that her mother wrote to an old friend in this place called Enchantra, and she ends up getting embroiled in this massive family drama amongst the devils and the ghouls and the wraiths and things like that. And so again, there's 2 massive competitions in both of these books, both so fun, both hellish in their own ways. And this is a perfect example of a great romantasy. These books are for sure a romantasy. It's romantic, it's hot, it's heavy, it's sexy. I volunteer! but there's still like high stakes and there's still like tons going on action-wise. But again, it gets spicy. It's fun. I cannot recommend these ones enough. Like legitimately, I am such a big fan of both of these books, and I just think they're the perfect example of what a romantasy should be. So everyone should go read these two. The next one I want to recommend is the TikTok favorite, absolutely blown the world away with her writing, and an author who is now on my automatic buy list. We have Rachel Gillig's One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. I love the Shepherd King duology. That's the name of this duology, is the Shepherd King duology. If you guys are not familiar with One Dark Window, get right on it. These books, this duology is quite literally life-changing. Rachel Gillig is so talented when it comes to writing moody, gothic, romantic fantasy duologies. Like, I am just so absolutely impressed with her. She's coming out with a book later this month called The Night and the Moth. I literally cannot wait for it to come out. And it's going to be another duology as well. I don't know what the second one will be called, but I am so excited to read it. But this one is, again, going along with her vibe. Her vibe is very much, Rachel Gillig's vibe is very much moody, gothic, like so sweet and yearning, men pining, very romantic, but mostly just like in these gothic, creepy worlds.
Mortality. Nice.
One Dark Window is essentially about a young woman named Elspeth who lives in a kingdom that is cursed. The kingdom has a fog surrounding it. If you go into the fog, then you will like go mad and go crazy. And she essentially has a secret gift. In this world, there are magic cards, and each of the cards gives you a gift. So there's a deck of 12 cards, and if you possess one of the cards, you get to reap the benefits of that card and its gifts, but you also get the downside of its like side effects and bad things that happen. So Elspeth one day, she has a card that lives inside of her head named the Nightmare. And she essentially meets a young man, a highwayman on the road one time when she's attacked, who essentially asks her for help collecting the rest of these cards to stop the curse that is going around this kingdom. And Elspeth and Raven have to figure out what's going on inside of this kingdom and how they can stop it and how they can possess all of the cards so that they can put an end to the curse that is surrounding the kingdom. Again, this book series is enchanting, scary, mysterious, haunting, but also like very deep, like yearning and romance. Like I just absolutely love both of these books.
Bring back yearning. Normalize male yearning. I want to see begging on knees. I want to see clasped fists like this. I want to hear please, please.
For totally different reasons, and they both just coincide so beautifully with one another. It's a beautiful duology, and I cannot recommend it enough. Next, we want to take a walk on the slightly wild side. This book series, I think, technically is marketed as YA, but honestly, it is gory enough that it can be marketed as new adult. We have, by Christine Lynn Herman and Amanda Foody, we have All of Us Villains and All of Our Demise, the first book in the All of Our Villains duology. Now, this one I've talked about ad nauseum before on the channel. Like I used to like not be able to shut up about this series. This book series is so good. It is technically, it exists in modern day, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't read like it. I would say that this book series is giving, we have if Harry Potter met the Hunger Games, kind of a deal. Okay?
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
So essentially, we live in a town, there's a town in England called Ilvernaith, and there is a family, I think it's 7 families who live in this town, and they each have the ability to possess some form of magic, whether it's with curses or with tokens or with like magical items and artifacts. So every like solstice or whatever, or every like couple hundred years or whatever, one member from each of the families has to compete in this competition. One of the young people of the family has to compete in this competition to essentially gain all of the world's magic for like until the next time that they like do this again. So essentially it's like which family is going to become the most powerful. And these competitors, this definitely reads slightly dark academia because of these competitors. Like, so much happens in this competition. It is dramatic as hell. It's dramatic.
I sensed tension and came as fast as I could.
Like these kids, they're literally children. Like from probably like ages like 14 to like 20. Like they are young people. They are young and they are fighting for their lives, doing whatever it takes to be the best and to be the winners. Like they are cursing each other, they're hexing each other, they're trying to kill each other so they can win all of the world's magic. And it is raw and it is gory and it is messy. And I love that these people all just have like such dark and devious and ulterior motives. There's so much evil and corruption going on in this book. And I just love that everyone is so morally gray. This book screams morally gray. Everyone in this series is morally gray, and they're all fighting for their own reasons. And it is so interesting to see what happens when they interact, who they fall in love with, and what happens along the way in this competition that they have to compete in. It's truly a bloodbath, and I absolutely live. Like, this one is just very much like, yeah, those like bloody Hunger Games vibes, but way more dark academia and way more just like sickly sinister. I just absolutely love it. And this book series, Duology, is probably one of my like absolute favorites of all time, and I cannot recommend it enough. The next duology I want to recommend is one of my absolute most favorite, very moody, gothic, sensual ones, kind of similar to the One Dark Window vibes. We have For the Wolf by Hannah Wynne and For the Throne. This is a gorgeous fantasy duology. For the Wolf is basically about a young woman named Rhaedaris, who is the second-born daughter of this kingdom. And essentially, the second-born daughters of this kingdom are always sacrificed to the Wilder Wood once they hit a certain age, because they're there to serve as like penance to keep the dark gods of inside of the Wilder Wood to help them to not escape. And Rhaedaris is more than happy to go because she has this dark power within her that she doesn't know how to control, and she doesn't want to be a plague to anyone anymore. So she goes into the Wilder Wood to meet the wolf there and to be killed by the wolf. But when she enters the Wilder Wood, she finds out that the wolf is not a wolf at all, but a man, and that the dark gods are actually plotting something very evil, and that her magic might be the only thing to stop them. The second book, For the Throne, is actually about Rhaedaris' sister Neve, because it doesn't all get completed in this book. We have young Neve, who is the firstborn daughter of the kingdom, and Neve and a shadow king named Solomir have to enter the Shadowlands and essentially have to work together, even though they hate each other, and essentially like work together to make it through the Shadowlands together. This duology is flawless. This duology is gorgeous. This duology is everything that you want from a duology to be. It's romantic, it's sweeping, it's high stakes, but it's moody and it's sensual and it's beautiful. Like, truly, I love this duology. It means so much to me, and I just cannot hype it up enough. Hannah Wynne is one of the best gothic authors out there. She's definitely up there with Rachel Gillig. They're both in the same category, in my opinion. And if you love Rachel Gillig, you'll love Hannah Wynne. So I 10 out of 10 recommend this duology. And last but certainly not least, one of the TikTok's most popular and probably the most famous author for writing incredible duologies, at least these days, we have Miss Rebecca Ross's A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless. Now, I know you guys were probably all thinking, Olivia, why aren't you talking about Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, one of the most famous duologies ever? Yes, I thought about bringing up that one by Rebecca Ross as well, but I figured you guys might like to try something a little bit different because so many people recommend Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. Is it an incredible duology? Yes, but so is this one. I love this duology. The Elements of Cadence duology is brilliant. I just love the way that Rebecca Ross writes. This one is going to give very much like Scottish folk vibes in like the absolute best way. So essentially, to give you guys a quick plot summary, we have a young Jack Tamerlane has been, he lives on an island called Cadence, and he has been away from the island for 10 years, studying as a scholar and as a musician in the city away from his island home. His island home of Cadence is actually split into two. There are two warring clans that are essentially fighting, and one of his clan chief reaches out to him to come and help, but he finds out that it was a ruse, and it was actually his daughter, who he used to be in love with, and they were childhood sweethearts but turned enemies, named Adira. And Adira essentially wrote to Jack being like, you're the only one who can help me because girls of our clan are going missing, and she has a feeling it might be from the rival clan next door. And so Jack and Adira work together to find out what happened to the missing girls and how to get them back. So something really unique about this duology series is that there's actually two love stories kind of going on at the same time. We have obviously Jack and Adira, and then we have Torrin and Cedra. And Torrin is like the captain of the guard, and Cedra is his second wife. And they're like a new romance, and things are like butting up between them. These two books are both incredible. And I love that there's like duo POVs going on in both of these books. So it's really interesting to read from both sides of like two sides of the same coin. We have like a young romance and an older romance, and we just have these two things like happening at the same time, and it's really beautiful and folky. I love when we get to see like the Fae folk in their like very like whimsical element. This reads very like Scottish Highlands and very much like warring clans, and there's high stakes, and it's sexy and it's fun, but it's also just like very sweet and whimsical, and the romances between both of our couples are absolutely lovely in both of these books. So I absolutely adore this duology. It's like literally one of my favorites. It's absolutely enchanting and just like so sweet. And Rebecca Ross kills it every single time. Like, I love that woman. She's also an automatic buy for me. Every single time I will buy anything that she publishes. And this duology is no exception. So that is all the fantasy duologies that I have for you guys today. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to the Live in Liturgy YouTube channel. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. And if there's any duologies that I missed or you wanted to hear from, please let me know down below in the comments. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to one of my beautiful subscribers, Poppy Morial. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Poppy, thank you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and for liking and for always commenting on my videos. I super appreciate it. If you guys would like to see more subscriber shout outs, I'd be happy to do it. I just thought it would be kind of fun to shout one of them out because like Poppy's been such a long time subscriber of the channel and has literally comments on every single one of my videos, which I'm so grateful for. Again, I love you guys the most and I'm so grateful for you. I will catch you in the next one. Love you. Bye.